My wife and I were recently on the Caribbean Princess, and we spent more than a little time in the casino on Deck 7. We thought you might like to get a tour of the casino and get our thoughts on which machines were treating us well and which ones weren't. And at the end of this video, I'll let you know if we left the cruise as winners or losers. We're starting our tour on the port side of the ship. Now, for those of you not familiar with cruise lingo, that's the left-hand side of the ship as you're facing the front. You'll notice that the casino is pretty empty and the machines are turned off. Due to regulations, the machines can't be turned on until the ship is 12 miles out from shore. The ship also has a policy against filming while players are in the casino, so recording this before we leave just makes sense. The machines on the port side weren't very friendly to us. It seems like most of the winning was happening on the starboard or right-hand side of the ship. For instance, this machine was being a real jerk and took me for about $300. Before we get over to the good stuff, I'd like to ask you to please click on that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I have a lot of amazing videos coming up over the next few months, and I don't want you to miss out. I'd sure appreciate it. Just a note here, for this cruise we established a gambling fund. It's important that you set limits and don't gamble any more than you can afford to lose. If you think you may have a gambling problem, the National Council on Problem Gambling helpline is 1-800-522-4700. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. This money roll machine was a lot of fun to play. Early in the cruise, it gave me a pretty decent jackpot of a couple $100. Later on, I got 80 free spins on this machine, but I think I was only betting something like 35 cents, so those 80 spins only added up to about $50 or $60. Now we're getting to the good stuff. These ultimate firelink machines were hot during the entire cruise. On day one of the cruise, I saw somebody get a hand pay on one of these machines. Now, for you non-gamblers, a hand pay is a win over $1,200. I did pretty well on these machines, getting fireball jackpots on every one except the one on the far left. On one of the fireball jackpots, I even got the major bonus, which was over $500. These Crazy Money Deluxe machines were also pretty popular, especially the one on the right. On day 2, somebody got a hand pay on that machine. My wife and I each hit a couple of jackpots on this machine for $300 to $500. Friend of the channel, Cruising for One, said that he's going to be on the Caribbean Princess soon, and he wanted me to research the video poker machines. So I sat down for about 15 minutes at these machines, and honestly, they treated me pretty fairly. I was playing jacks or better. I think I left with about $20 more than when I sat down. They also had a row of Game King video poker machines, but I prefer the others. I've never had too much luck on Game King machines, so I tend to avoid them. And speaking of Cruising for One, if you are a solo cruiser, check out his YouTube channel or the website cruisingforone.com. There's a lot of great tips for those cruising alone, as well as hotel reviews, tutorials, and much more. Casper the Friendly Ghost was friendly to us on an on-again, off-again basis. Sometimes he'd take our money and then just disappear, and other times he'd pay out some pretty big jackpots, like this one. This Locket Link machine was hot for the first half of the cruise, but then it seemed to cool off a little bit later on. Before it did cool off though, I got a few good jackpots out of it. If you prefer table games, the Caribbean Princess has roulette, blackjack, poker, craps, all the favorites. They also have some tournaments during the cruise if you're into that kind of thing. So how did we do in the casino? My wife came out ahead by $400, and I put $500 into the machines and walked away with $1,500 for a profit of $1,000. The casino also gave us some perks, and I'll be covering that on another video coming out soon. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jeff, and I'll see you on the back roads or on a firelink machine because they were really paying out on this cruise.